we bring you this episode brought to you by Pancake Mix, the best part of a complete breakfast along with bacon and eggs. It also goes forth with a good old orange juice. This is your sponsor, Ballin, and carry on with the show. Thank you, Ballin. Anyways, hello everyone, this is DragonLore95 here, along with Worlds Collide. And if you must know, I like to bring this up a bit, but the author of this story basically texted and said that they really liked this, and I'm like, we're really happy that we made your day and such, and we find the story interesting. So keep up what you do best. Or else you have something to add to that?
Yeah. I do enjoy reading the story. It's quite fun to do.
Yes. Anyways, without further ado, we're gonna go into a more lightheartedness here. So, we're gonna go into a well-known thing people like to make Balin be well-known with, along with our adorable little friends. It's time to meet our little time friends. Alright, you go.
Why me?
Because, Emma's not talking here. Leo's the one.
Okay. Leo started as he woke up and opened his eyes, finding it to be morning. Sitting up, he looked beside him to see Emma was still sound asleep, and he didn't have the heart to wake her up as he knew she was tired from last night.
I'll be back for you when I get help.
He promised quickly before getting up and getting dressed behind the changing curtain, quietly heading out so that he didn't alert Balin and didn't wake up Emma.
The boy moved quietly down the hall, a trick he was glad he had learned from before he was on the streets. He looked around, wondering where the door was, as he hoped to escape before Balin found out he was trying to run again. He had just passed the door when he looked up and stopped short when he saw a shadow that looked just like the tall being he was trying to avoid. Quickly and quietly, he ducked into a random room on his right and quietly closed the door, pressing his ear to it to listen closely. When he didn't hear anything, he sighed in relief before hearing a strange sound and turning to find a creature he recognized from the party.
I got this. If he remembered right, the sheep told him from Wonderworld. This one was blue with cat ears. It jumped and nestled his cheek with... Damn it! Why did this pop up? Just don't stop popping up! Ah!
It's like a bunch of Tims you encountered.
Get off the laptop! Come here,
Aw, how adorable.
I'm just gonna keep this on my head, and you can stay up there. Anyway, nestled his cheek with a happy chirp. He gently caught the small creature and set it down gently before heading out the door and tried to
Wow,
find
you just have
the way
trouble
out.
saying the word gently.
Yeah, I like to say the word hard instead of gently.
Don't be mean to them.
I'm not being mean. It's just hard. It's just I get mixed up. Okay.
Okay.
But the baby Tim's eager to play. Okay. In another way, that word
Came out
and jumped on him. A flew slipping under his shirt to his stomach and nuzzling him.
Hey!
He said a bit startled. Startling before he bit his lips to hide his laughter as the little creature continued nuzzling against his stomach, some even slipping into his shirt sleeves and nuzzling his underarms, neck, and shoulder blades. Leo. Get
I
under
got
close.
this, I got this. Leo squirmed around so much he tripped, but felt something soft catch him, and he saw it was some of the larger Tims, who chirped happily and joined in the nuzzling, to which the boy began chuckling despite trying not to.
Back, back in Emma's room. Back in the room, Emma began to stall, but
Snuggled
snuggled deeper into the warm covers, sighing
contently.
contentedly as then heard the door open and a familiar chuckle reached her ear.
Good morning, sweet one.
She heard Balin said.
Time to wake up. I'm
She
surprised
opened
there's
her.
no rhymes in this, because that's how Balin would usually go for. Oh,
Yeah.
that'll be alright. Who knows? It may happen tonight. Okay, there you go. There's your sample there.
Okay.
Okay, she opened her green eyes blurry before yawning and stretching, feeling someone sit beside her, and she lifted her head to see the tall maestro was sitting there, and he smiled at her. There's those adorable green eyes.
He said.
I got this one. I got this one. Don't worry. His smile made her smile back, but she ducked her head shyly at his praise about her eyes. Noticing this, the tall being smiled and reached under, his hands reaching on the girl's sides, and she looked back up just in time to see a mischievous sparkle in his eyes before she felt his fingers wiggle into her sides. Okay, that is basically a knight's thing, okay? You know, the mischievous approach. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone, I'm quite a mischievous one. Nice, we already established that. I know. You're a freaking imp anyways. A good one at that. Eh. Immediately, she burst into giggles and squirmed to get free, but the maestro just chuckled and pulled her closer to him, setting her in his lap sideways, which allowed him to loop his right arm around her and tickle her right side and stomach with his free hand, while the other arm wrapped around her in a snug but gentle hug.
Do I have to do this?
Yes.
I don't have my energy up. I'm
You
feel
what you want me to do it? You want me to do it?
shit. Why do we have to do this?
What? It's the chapter. You have to do it. You want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, 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 no.
She giggled out.
Well, well. Look at this ticklish little one I have in my grasp.
He said
Teasley.
teasily as in her heel, which made the tickle towards the walls.
I wonder where her #1 tickle spot is. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the common thing that people honestly pretty much bring up. Balin, he just teases them with tickles and such. I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, it's just him being playful and such. That and it brings a smile to people and a good laugh. I mean, at least you're not hurting them. I would never. Okay,
Mm-mm.
you want to
Emma
read?
Emma tried to get away, but when Balin began tickling her her legs, she lost it as was that was a major tickle spot of hers, and she felt like she couldn't really move, saving for kicking her feet a bit.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to sound like a nightmare. And I'm sorry.
Creepy.
There's your nightmare approach, everyone. I'll have you know, Ashley's quite a ticklish one herself. Hey!
Oh yeah, isn't it her neck?
That and she has other spots too. Don't even dare.
Hmm?
You do it,
Okay.
you ain't getting any cookies from me.
Oh, that's fine. I can always get cookies from somewhere else.
Anyways,
She laughed out before Squeal left her as Balin playfully nuzzled her neck. But
on a raspberry. On a raspberry. You know what a raspberry is, right? Not a
yes, I
fruit.
know. I know, Dale.
Let's. Yeah. Honestly, I never had to do that to Ashley. Yeah, because honestly,
That's
I'd rather have you
disgusting.
not.
It's disgusting to be chooseful. You got to spit on top of somebody else. What if somebody gets sick from that?
Mainly on their stomach.
I know.
It's okay. Anyways,
Disgusting.
who's my ticklish little one?
The Maestro cooed at her. Ch- I can say that word.
Chuckling.
Chuckling before he stopped the tickle turtle, allowing her to catch a chance to catch her breath.
The 15-year-old girl leaned her head against the tall being's chest, his heartbeat sounding gently in her ear as she recovered while feeling him right rubber back smoothing before that same hand reached up and began to stroke her head gently. This made her snuggle closer to him and smiled. How are you feeling, Emma?
Balin asked, smiling again. Better.
She said before her stomach growled and she blushed again.
I guess a bit hungry. The tall being chuckled.
Why don't you get dressed and we'll go have breakfast?
He said,
By the way, where did Leo go? She shrugged.
I don't know.
She admitted.
Maybe he already woke up.
Hmm. The
The
maestro
mice.
nodded, waiting patiently as Emma went behind the changing curtain and dressed quickly before heading out of the room with Balin beside her. A few Tims came out and greeted her and she smiled, picking up a pink one and hugged it. It chirped happily, nuzzling her cheek, which made her giggle.
Uh,
Emma speaking.
I'm trying to find now.
Right here.
Those are Tim's, right?
She asked, recalling last night when Sana had pointed out some of the small creatures playing some of the games. That's right.
The tall being beside her said, smiling as he saw, what?
Saw.
Saw more of them, and he chuckled, holding out his arm, catching a few that jumped up to him, nuzzling him as he hugged them.
They're very affectionate and love to play. Okay, that is pretty much common with a lot of fan art involving these little guys. And well, come on, let's be honest here. It seems both Knights and Balin have a better responsibility at taking care of these little critters, far better than Sonic ever will.
Of course.
Seriously, how honestly are you expecting to save a lot of people if you're gonna be captured later onwards? Sheesh, it's just not your day, Sonic.
True.
Oh wait, it's never.
True.
Anywho, the young girl giggled again before following Balin out of the room and to a dining room where breakfast awaited them.
Should we wait for Leo?
Emma asked. Oh, don't worry.
Balin said with a smile.
He'll be joining us soon. Oop,
Leo, are you okay?
Yeah, I was just a little off place. There you go.
Okay, Leo was in the meanwhile still trapped with the Tims that surrounded him, and they jumped on him playfully to the point that only his head and feet were exposed.
Come on, stop.
He pleaded. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you got it.
A few a few chuckles and giggles escaped him, though through he tried to hold them in. The longer the longer
The
Tim's
larger.
fuck. Longer Tim.
Long Tim's.
Shut up!
Long.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! It's like long dog. Whatever. The larger Tims choked and began hopping away with the boys, still trapped, taking him down the hallway, and they soon entered the dining room where Emma and Baron were eating breakfast. The tall being chuckled and amused as in Leo trapped within the playful creatures, and the green-eyed girl giggled at the cute scene.
I see you met some of the other Tims, Leo.
The maestro said, smiling.
Yes.
The boy managed to say, still trying not to laugh, but that was
Becoming.
becoming nearly impossible.
Please make them stop.
He managed to
Sputter.
sputter out, barely stopping the laugh, but wanted to escape.
Hmm.
Fallon chuckled and stood up.
I will. In a bit.
He
Oh, you
said,
gotta be kidding me!
he said as he came close and pulling out a couple feathers from his sleeves and kneeling down carefully, removing the boy's suit and socks.
First off, I think you could do with a good dose of happiness. Oh no, not the feathers!
Fuck.
It's okay. Ah, language, Wolf. Language.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop this. Dixon.
Good grief. Well, do continue. No, I got this because no one is speaking right now.
Okay.
Leo saw the maestro holding up the feathers and his eyes widened as he struggled. But when those feathers began stroking over his vulnerable feet, the boy couldn't hold back his laughter any longer and burst out of him as he squirmed, unable to move much with the smaller Tim's nuzzling and tickling him too, while the tall being made sure the feathers tickled every inch of the boy's feet from heel to toe. Stop it! Stop it!
The blue-eyed kid laughed before feeling a hand lift his sword up to the bottom of his ribcage, and the Tims snuggled against the exposed stomach happily, adding more to the tickling
Sensation.
sensation.
It's okay. Emma giggled as she saw this and saw Balin grinning at her before she felt hands on her sides and looked to see the mischievous maestro had cloned himself again, and the clone behind her started tickling her, making her laugh too. Balin kept up the tickle torture for a little bit longer before stopping, his clone vanishing, and he nodded to Tim's. All right, he's had enough. You can go now, little ones.
he said he said with a he said gently with a smile.
There you go, you're getting it.
I do not. Okay, sorry, I don't. Sorry, to narrate this, but I do not like tickling scenes. Okay.
It's
The
okay.
sm-
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, Yoster practically did massages, honestly. I'm not even kidding. He does that.
I rather
Fun.
have that than
Oh,
tickling.
also a little fun fact. Yoster's hands, they actually have paw pads. They're very soft and smooth. Hence the reason why he's able to pretty much make hand contact. Because he honestly doesn't really need to make use of his claws. That's why. It's also on his feet as well. So there you go. So they're not
Ooh,
scales? No, those are actually pretty soft.
ooh, I see. The smaller Tims moved away from Leo, still chirping happily while the boys lay still on the larger Tim, trying to catch his breath. Smiling, the tall being lifted the boy up into his arms, making the 15-year-old boy look up at him and t- tensed up. Did I say it right?
Yep, yep.
But Balin just smiled at him.
Easy.
He said gently,
Catch your breath.
"Go ahead."
The boy looked at him, wondering what the tall being was planning. It seemed he was aware of the boy's attempts to escape and yet never brought it up. Just then his stomach growled, which the maestro heard and chuckled. Come on, eat with us, Leo.
He said, bringing the boy over to the table and gently sitting him down in the chair beside Emma, who smiled as Balin sat down on her other side, and they begin eating again.
I'll have you know that the dining room is actually really nice and is very relaxing, and you can make easy conversations.
Hmm. Let's see.
Hmm.
The boy. Oh, you want to read?
Sure. You've been reading a lot, a lot of this dialogue and such. I can handle the rest.
All right.
The boy, while eating, decided to rethink his strategy and try to leave a bit later. He felt his eyes on him. He felt eyes on him and looked to see Balin was watching him with the same smile he always seemed to wear, and the tall being nodded to the boy, as if to show he knew just what the boy was thinking. Sighing, Leo turned back to his food, planning out his escape again. Yeah, that was actually just more of an innocent kind of chapter. And honestly, that's one way to get somebody to be awake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. This honestly went. This actually went on for less compared with the last chapter. You know what I mean? But then again,
I
you could say it was
tried.
one heck of a party.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can't get over it.
Yeah, especially with that pancake mix.
I swear I thought you were talking about it.
No.
Like, I don't
Not
know.
again.
Don't laugh. Here, here, take this 10-minute relax.
You want to do another chapter?
So,
Sure. We can do another chapter and call it.
mm-hmm.
Just a moment, people. All right, we're back, and I will let you guys know ahead. This is rather a short chapter, so yeah. And we're gonna be meeting one of the residents, and they're gonna have a bit more screen time here. Well, I guess if you count for a story. Anyways, finding the happiness you need, chapter 5. I get this. A couple weeks had now passed, and Leo hadn't given up on trying to leave. But every time he tried, it seemed Balin was everywhere and had been keeping an eye on the two teenagers. Gosh, it's almost like Owl basic. It's like Owl and also Knights. Seriously, Knights, you just have ways of popping up. I mean, I have a nightmare, and I'm able to find these. Mm-hmm. Same here.
I bet it makes it easier to find humans.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
Why else do you think I was a very skilled ambusher back then?
Mm,
Yeah, but now you're just being quite a cheeky one.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the thing. Leo had tried to slip out through the back and had run into Balin looking up at the stars outside. He even tried the basement of the theater to go out through the cellar doors, but that had proved equally unsuccessful as Balin had opened the doors right then, seeming a bit surprised to see the boy there, but saying he was working on the flower beds on that side and wondered if Leo wanted to help.
Oh, my
What?
god.
What is it?
I think that's cool.
Yeah, now we have a better example. It's actually true. That is
You,
exactly what goes on in the theater. I actually do have a flower bed if you'd like to know.
I can understand that
And they're
because
very rare
it.
type of flowers too.
Ooh, I would like to see them someday.
You can even see the stars, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. Stars are
Uh,
always nice to see.
especially when you live in a darkened town like mine, you could like
Same here.
see everything.
I mean, I could see the two, except the only issue is that there are trees, but that's aside the point. Anyways,
Hmm.
go on.
After some
Careful
careful
consideration.
consideration and waiting a few days, the boy felt that he and Emma had a chance, right?
We could leave this evening.
Leo said as Leo said to her as they were sitting in her room.
Emma looked away, looking a bit nervous before looking at him.
Actually, Leo, I like living here.
She said softly.
I like living here with Balin, even though I stay in here mostly unless he needs help. The blue the blue-eyed boy could see that she really wanted to stay, and he thought about it for a bit. And while he didn't want to leave her, he had to remind himself that she truly had no home out there, unlike him, even though he never wanted to. It.
Do do you really want to stay here?
He asked.
She nodded.
You could too.
She said gently.
Balin really is nice, and he hasn't hurt neither of us. Leo bit his lip, not wanting to disagree as what she said had been true, but didn't want it to agree either because he still didn't trust the maestro.
I I need to head out.
He said finally, I can say it
Yeah, you got it.
finally, but his voice was gentle so that the girl knew that he wasn't angry with her decision. He decided he wasn't going to pull her away from a place where she seemed to feel happy. That wouldn't be fair to her. Sorry, I, Leo, I'm sorry.
She Emma said quietly. For what?
He asked, cocking his head to the side.
You feel at home here, and that's what you always wanted, right? She nodded.
Then it would be selfish of
Oh,
me
that's
to make you.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It is her talking.
Then it would be selfish of me to make you leave with. Oh,
Oh,
sit.
gosh. Okay, okay, okay. It's still Leo. He's still talking. Gosh, it really. Yeah, that kind of threw me off a bit. Okay, you read that. Yeah, she nodded.
She nodded.
Then it would be selfish of me to make you leave with me when you want to stay.
He continued.
Just be careful, okay? I don't know what Balin's game is.
Why don't you trust him?
She asked softly. I have my reasons.
The boy said before hugging her.
Just be careful, okay? Remember how I mentioned that we're going to be meeting one of the residents here?
Yeah.
Well,
o-
we're going to meet
Okay.
him.
Okay. The she nodded and he head out, making sure that the clothes was clear before going down the hallway. This time, finding the door to the outside, and took a deep breath and about to open it. And when it opened, and there was stood a boy with his age, and the boy was smiling.
Hey, Leo.
He said with a smile.
Um,
The blue-eyed boy hummed with a conflicted look.
confused.
Fuck.
It's okay. Also, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, honestly. I know he's the kid with the goggles.
Just give him a nickname. Gold.
Oh, I'm Hayu-chan.
The boy said with a smile.
We met at the party.
Leo remembered now.
You like to fly?
He said, recalling what he had heard.
Yeah.
How? How?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry we're making fun of this kid's name.
I can't say his name. Said.
Okay, and someday I will.
He pulled out a wagon. He pulled a wagon inside and smiled.
Hey, wanna help me build my plane? I'm having a hard time coming up with a good design.
The blue-eyed boy bit his lip. His eyes wandering over the scrap metal and hardware supplies in the wagon, and recalled when he was much younger and how he been into building things, but that he was that was long time ago. He looked towards the door and then back at Ha- Haru.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How are you?
It sounds like how are you? Okay, Haru, who was giving him a hopeful look.
It'll be fun.
The green eye,
Green hair.
the green hair boy said.
Maybe you can teach me some dance moves too. I saw you at the party, and you're a cool dancer.
Leo took a deep breath before looking at Haru.
Yeah, Haru from Persona Evil. Sorry, it's just this kid's name is.
I hate myself.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
He said
Reluctantly.
reluctantly this
Deciding.
deciding that perhaps he could head out after helping.
How you?
I'm good. You? How are you?
Great!
The voice said, smiling.
And thanks. This means a lot to me.
The blue-eyed boy nodded.
So, where do you want the stuff?
He asked,
Well, my workshop's in Wonderworld.
"How you? How you? How you said?"
We'll have to find Balin and take the train.
Leo blinked.
Take the train?
He said. The green hair boy blinked.
You never ridden on the Wonderworld train?
He asked in surprise before smiling.
It's one of the most amazing things ever. Come on! I can read this
With
bit.
okay.
With that, he began pulling the wagon, and the blue eyed boy helped out by pushing the wagon from behind. This made it less heavy for both of them, and they went down a few hallways before finding Balin in the main theater room, where he was talking to a few of the cast members. Is okay, it's a spider.
Yeah, Reb
Okay,
Ringo?
yeah, we got okay. Balin's talking here because it just says who's talking here. Web Wrangler, do you want to do an acrobat act?
The tall being asked the spider-like being. Yes.
She said, her eyes bright with excitement. Pumpkin Puncher did a front flip.
Can I join? Can I join her?
He asked.
I love that.
She said happily.
Van smiled and nodded before n- nodding, I don't know,
Yeah, you
to
got
a
it.
few others.
And your acts are set to go?
He asked. They nodded.
All right then. Why don't you do a few practice runs to see how it flows?
The begins. Is it good?
Yep, yep.
Agreed and went to do so. As the maestro watched before feeling a hand lightly tap his arm and turned to find the two boys with the wagon full of things to build a plane.
Yeah, if you could tell, this guy is totally Tails. I wanna fly high. Gosh, if the Sonic characters basically were in, I totally could envision that. Ah, I see you found some good stuff, Hayu.
He said.
Yeah,
The boy said.
Leo and I are gonna build a plane and hopefully get it right.
Balin chuckled.
I'm sure you both will.
He said.
You need to catch the train? Yes, please.
The green haired boy said.
The maestro nodded and led them to the train platform that was behind a set of doors, and he snapped his fingers. A black train coming into view. Leo couldn't help but be awed of the train, and a part of him was sort of glad that Hayu had asked him to come along.
The two the two boarded the train and Balin play, playfully ruffled
Ruffled.
ruffled Hayu's tail, making him laugh and playfully I can read that word.
Fend.
Friend of the tall being's hand. Leo thought as he note,
Noted.
noted that the green hair boy didn't seem to mind that really. As he was thinking, he felt a hand ruffled his hair and looked up to see the maestro was smiling at him.
Have fun, Leo.
He said before heading off the he said before heading off the train and the train began to fly away.
Welcome to the Polar Express. I'm sorry. Every time that happens, I needed to do that. And we're going to be riding on the Polar Express, everyone.
Damn it.
Unable.
Unable to help himself since he was curious, the blue-eyed boy gazed out the window. His eyes widened as they approached How place in Wonder World. It was an amazing place,
Wow.
he said. His new friend Chuck Good.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
He said.
Each of us have a world like this. A world built from our dreams, our hopes and dreams. Yeah, honestly, that's totally an Undertale reference. Yeah, the reason why I swapped that around because that sounds a little more catchy.
Leo looked at him.
You mean like you're literally in your own little world?
He asked. Hail, hail. Okay, I say, how you? I can say his name and laughed and amused.
How you?
I'm good. How you laughed in amusement?
That's one way to put it.
He said.
Mine's filled with everything about flying, since that's what I love the most and want to fly up in the sky.
The blue-eyed kid looked at his friend.
Have you ever tried to build a plane before?
He asked.
Many times.
The green haired boy said.
But I couldn't get the design right. But I've kept trying and hopefully I'll get it right someday. I get this, I got this. Leo couldn't help smiling, and as the train came to a stop, they hopped off with the wagon apart and began walking down a grassy field. I am surprised that wagon is able to walk across a field. Balloons and wind tunnels everywhere. Insert the level music here. The 15-year-old boy also noticed a few of the sheep that he had met where they were, were there, and they seemed to be having a jolly time dancing around with the person that looked like a bat and a fox that suddenly became a box, and he blinked. Eyes widened with the box transformed back into the fox. And people, let's just say, the fox costume looks really cool, but the box form is kind of finicky, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're trying to get a certain statue.
Of course. Ha-
How you?
Haru smiled as they arrived at his stall.
Here we are.
He said,
Come on
"The place."
inside.
Okay, sorry. Uh, the place was filled with everything they needed, and the two set to work. Even Leo had to admit he was ex- what?
Excited.
Excited to see if the plane they were building would fly. He hoped it would.
Also, little heads up. The next chapter, it's definitely going to dive into Leo and why he has a distrust for like adult figurines such as Balin. But that's all I'm gonna say. And little in depth with our green haired friend here. So, what did you think of this chapter?
I like it. Was better.
I honestly liked how we're literally getting a chance to see the other inhabitants that in game you basically help them, and here they basically are interacting with the two main kids that you play as,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, it's just really nice. It just has a little more personality to give them.
Yeah.
Gosh, since this is basically different, I wonder if we're not going to see the bosses, honestly. Because they're practically fine, so I guess Lance just doesn't have much work to do with that. To be fair, this doesn't really require that kind of story. Unless the author has some plans for that. Yeah, good point.
Hmm.
So yeah, to the author who is watching this, because I know you are, want to know if you plan on putting the bosses in here. I'd like to know which ones you're gonna honestly go with. Though honestly, I'd rather not have it be me because being that form just really is painful. I'm not even kidding. I don't blame you, Lance. I don't blame you. That looked like it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just happy that there's going to be more to the story. Because this is definitely an interesting tale that I'm glad that people are writing. And also people who are writing stories involving us. Who knows? Maybe we might end up getting some sort of crossovers possibly. Balin, you're going to be in the Persona one I have planned for a future. Oh yeah, that's right. It's funny how I'm going to have to be a boss and Lance has to be one of your partners. It's the irony, isn't it?
Hmm.
Also, if you want to know, for Balin and I, our code names are Maestro and Phantom. What?
Nothing.
They're theater names. How fitting.
I know, I know.
Well,
I
I
wonder how
guess.
your outfits are gonna look.
Oh, well, let's just say Ashley didn't really change that. Yeah, I
Hmm.
don't know. Should I give them a should I give them outfits? Because honestly, I think they look fine the way they are. Unless you want Lance to be in his like purified form.
I don't know. It's up to you what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I hope you all enjoy this, and hopefully we may do chapter 6, and well, let's just say there's definitely gonna be more character interactions. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Till then, see you all later,
Sweet dreams.
and pleasant nightmares, everyone. Why do you always find that amusing whenever I say that?
I have no idea. Just, I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Keep
Farewell,
your hands
everyone.
together. Bye.